Selecta Chevron, S.I.D. How we doing today, my man?
Doing pretty good. Selecta Chevron is here.
Fucking killing it, man.
Sunstripe Legacy.
Sunstripe, S.I.D. No competition in the game.
Big combo.
We're killing the game in every way possible, man.
Go.
Artists are killing it. Events killing it. Music coming out. I got a new song coming out Friday. New shows coming up. New things. Lots of new things to introduce. Man, I just want to hop into it, man. It's, there's so much crazy shit going on in the world right now. It seems like, a great reset is about to happen or something like that, where celebrities are being taken down. People are losing their respect for the world and for tradition. And I feel like we're just being filled up with garbage nowadays.
Plenty garbage.
The
world is being flipped, bro. What used to be good is now bad. And what's bad is now good.
So true, man.
So true.
I feel like one of our problems with today is that we expect people to be squeaky clean when nobody really is.
True.
Like, everybody has something in their past that you could pull up and cancel them for nowadays or say some shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where back in the day, people would understand that people aren't perfect. Things get taken out of context, jokes happen, stuff like that. And what it might offend you might not offend somebody else, and somebody else might take some good out of it or some light out of it. And nowadays, we just want to cancel. We just want to get rid of somebody, right? That's one of the things I think is...
You think you would ever get canceled?
I could definitely see it happen. And getting canceled has nothing to do with who you are as a person or the good or the bad things that you've done. It all has to do with what enemies do you make. Because nowadays, that's the way that they get rid of people. If they kill you, you become a martyr.
A martyr?
You know that word?
No.
That's like people who die for God or die for like a great cause. Like, for example, all of the apostles getting murdered. They were all martyrs, right?
Okay.
So if you kill somebody whenever they speak out against you, you create a JFK or an MLK or a Malcolm X. So if they killed Kanye right now,
he's a martyr.
And imagine how much the world... Oh, man, I love Kanye, man. I miss him.
Everyone would start talking about Kanye.
And everybody would love him. And then they would start digging up, oh, he said this and he said that, and because they were connecting the dots, right? But they have people so controlled that all they have to do is just go on the news and start bashing people. And then all of a sudden, it's just everybody's against them.
Yeah, the media pretty much have a good way of telling people what to think and how to think. All they got to do is put the headline, Kanye is bad. And then everybody think he bad.
100%, man.
Yeah, and like... I feel as though what Kanye's saying right now is pretty much what he's been saying the entire time. It's just that now the media's saying he bad. And I wouldn't say that's what he has exactly been saying the entire time, but he has been speaking out against certain things his entire
100%.
career.
100%. And one thing that they do with that, I'll admit it does seem like Kanye has some sort of a bipolar or mental health issue. But here's the problem with the way that we look at mental health issues, that we always look at the individual. We never look at the environment.
Yeah.
If a kid has ADHD in class right now, they'll look at the kid and they say, this kid is failing in class, they can't focus. They look at him as an individual.
True.
But look at the environment. What are his parents
what
home?
type of house he in?
Does he got dinner made for him? Is he getting his ass beat?
Yeah.
None of those get taken into consideration whenever they look at the kid's mental health, and it's just here, take medication, right?
Yeah, a lot of these kids nowadays with ADHD and autism and shit like that, I don't think it genuinely started off that way. I just think it's a lack of effort from the parents, and the kid just didn't develop that cognitive ability to learn because he wasn't being taught how to learn. Just as like, he has a burger,
100%.
Yeah.
And another thing too is that like with mental health, you can also have great benefits from that, or plus sides from that, or side effects like that. Like a lot of great artists, a lot of great geniuses has some sort of a mental health issue, right?
Yep, I think you
Williams.
gotta have some type of mental health issue to be considered a genius in the first place. Because if you don't have if you don't have that wacko-ness to you to go and think beyond and above something that is crazy, then
for real, if you just act like everybody else, you're gonna end up like everybody else. Right?
True that.
So with Kanye, back to what I was saying, is that nobody's looking at the environment that he's in. What kind of people are trying to take advantage of him? Right? What kind of people are around him? What's going on with his family life? What the fuck happened to his mom?
Wow, yeah.
Right? So it just and then on top of that, everything that he says, they'll take out of context into little clips, put them on TikTok.
Yeah.
Now, like for example, you take the Alex Jones interview about Hitler. Nobody's watching the full 3-hour thing or hour-long thing.
Yeah.
They just watch the 15 seconds.
Exactly.
And then if you go to research it on your own. If you look up on YouTube Alex Jones Kanye interview, you won't get...
That's the first thing you see, eh?
No, you won't get the interview. You get everybody talking about it.
Wow.
You'll get everybody's opinions on it, not
True
what it
that.
actually said. Huh. So I went and I found it somewhere on the internet. I watched the full-length video. And like I said, his thoughts are pretty everywhere. I think that his mind is pretty scattered. I think he's going through a lot.
Yeah.
I get where he was coming from with we need to love everybody, man. Like I love Hitler just like I love whatever. Like like how Jesus loved Mary Magdalene. But obviously what he his thoughts aren't concise. He's not clear-minded and he doesn't explain his points. He just kind of says shit.
Yeah, he doesn't be shooting stuff out.
Yeah, and so it but it, they do it all the time. It's like whenever Kanye was trying to explain that slavery is a choice.
True.
Which is absolutely true, that it's you can choose to be a slave or you can choose not to be a slave.
And not even that. Bro, Europeans came to Africa and bought people, bro.
Who sold them?
Yeah. The fuck? Yeah. Exactly. Who sold them, bro? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
not
true.
Like, because I always thought, like, how could a bunch of Europeans come to Africa on about, like, 90 to 100 people, enslave millions of people? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. And then black people always talking about, oh, we had kingdoms and all this type of shit in Africa, so y'all really let a bunch of white boys come and take y'all over. Y'all was sold, bro. Fucking slavery is a choice. I know I wear the Black Lives Matter shirt right now, but it's a choice.
And that's not like, obviously you can speak on the matter a little bit more clearly than I can, but I don't think that that's anti-black at all.
No, it's not.
I think
that's just the truth, straight up.
Yeah. And the people that control the world have done a really good job at dividing people so that we're pointing the finger at each other rather than at the people that are really doing all the damage, right? Mm-hmm. And another interesting thing, you know where the word slave came from?
From Slavic. Yeah.
Anyway, though, that was an example of Kanye trying to tell people that you can choose whether or not you want to adopt that mentality, or you can try to make something better of yourself and be a master of your own domain. And they took that and they went, oh, Kanye was saying that, Africans decided. Yeah. And that's what he was saying.
Okay, you want me to work on your field? Let's go. I love it. No, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that at all. And it's funny. It goes back to something that I've heard called the Agent Smith effect. Yeah. Where you've heard about that? Mm-hmm. Where if you're having dinner with your family or something like that, and you're talking about sports, you're talking about weather, everything's all cool, right? And then the minute that you want to talk about what are they putting in the food, what happened with 9/11, what about Jeffrey Epstein, then they all go, oh, well, you can't talk about that, and you don't know what you're talking about. And It's uncomfortable. Yeah. And they're programmed to defend the system for some reason.
It's the fluoride in the top water.
The fluoride in the top water is...
boil your water before you drink it.
We're becoming a fucking conspiracy podcast, man.
Yeah.
But it's good though, man. It's it's funny the way that people think of conspiracy theories, right?
Conspiracy. I like to call it critical thinking because if you just take the time to look at it black and white, I mean, you could clearly see that some fishy shit going on in 100%. The world. And a lot of time, the people with those Agent Smith disorders, they just don't want to face the fact that they live in a lie. They don't want to admit to themselves that they could possibly be wrong. Yeah, man,
100%. Yeah. And the thing with a conspiracy is a secret plan on something that you're doing in secret.
Yeah,
right?
you're conspiring.
And then a theory is just, I think that this is a secret that I have a theory on. Which isn't, there's nothing, that's a natural human thing to do.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of time. And it also goes back to, you ever hear the quote, I think it was Marcus Aurelius, that if you give, or maybe it was Julius Caesar, if you give them bread and circuses, they'll never revolt.
Not at all.
So that's, in Rome, the way to keep people kind of entertained and keep them dumbed down is by giving them bread, food, wine, and circuses. That would be like at the
Colosseum.
The Colosseum, where they'd be killing 5,000 animals.
And shit,
yeah, 5,000 animals a day.
That's a lot of damn animals, bro.
And like, I think 500 to 1,000 people a day.
That was Peter at that point, bro.
I thought you meant Peter for a second. Yeah, Peter, for real, though. Yeah, Rome was fucked up. But anyway, like that's what's happening today, that we're being force-fed bread and circuses, all these distractions, the Super Bowl's coming up. This is coming up, WrestleMania, whatever, right?
WrestleMania is coming up, actually.
Yeah, man. And that's the way that people get distracted, right? And that's something that we want to make a change on, because for too long, the music industry, the entertainment industry, the film industry has been spewing out bullshit.
A lot of bullshit, bro. A lot of negative darkness. It's like, bro, you could outwardly talk about the devil and evil and shit like that, and people will be like, all right, cool. But as soon as you start talking about God and Jesus,
Canceled.
people get uncomfortable, bro. Like,
Canceled.
think about the times we living in, bro.
For real.
If you talk about the Bible and God, people tell you, nah, cut that. But if you're talking about the devil, you straight. Like, bro.
Name one major celebrity that's got canceled that didn't talk about God.
That didn't talk about God.
I can't think of one.
Yeah, I can't. As soon as you start talking about God, they just switch on you, bro.
Trump, Dave Chappelle, Andrew Tate, Kanye West, Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, all talked about God.
Yeah, for real.
And none of these clowns are talking about God. You never see Rihanna, none of them. That. And this entertainment is being used in a way to control people's minds. It's not about lifting you up. It's trying to bring you down. Because music is hypnosis, and it's core. It's sending you a frequency, and it can be used for good or it can be used for evil. And whenever you hear most of the songs on the radio nowadays, it's can't be described as anything other than witchcraft.
It's for real, bro.
Yeah.
For real. The topics of conversation in music, mainstream music, drugs, sex, having sex with someone, man or girl.
Yeah.
Busting gun.
Yeah, for real.
Like, where's the educational value? How you supposed to? Yeah, like, that's envy, bro.
For real. And one thing that I find really interesting is that this whole debate over female rappers being criticized for what they do and male rappers not being criticized for what they do. And I agree with that. I think that we need to hold both sides accountable.
Right.
Where I think that Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are being used for evil, but I also would agree that Pop Smoke was used for evil.
Oh, big evil, bro.
Uzi Vert was used for evil.
Yeah, bro.
And that's another. It goes back to the division, right? Where if you try to criticize a Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion, they'll call you a misogynist. But it's not that at all. It's about what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
Where the fuck's Lauryn Hill?
For real.
She dropped one album and dipped.
Yeah, she see what was going on in the industry.
I don't think she want to be a part of it.
No part of that, bro.
She's so like intelligent, man, and it's like it's bad. It's almost like they're trying to promote the idea that there aren't intelligent women in entertainment.
Wow.
Entertainment.
I would think so.
And there absolutely is. We're not in the mainstream, maybe, because that's not what gets promoted, right?
Yeah, true.
Not that there's many intelligent men in the mainstream entertainment either that don't get canceled, because that's not what they want to propagate either. So that's something that I think that, we really stand for is bringing back positivity into music. It's something that whenever you listen to it, you can relax for a little bit. You can let your mind wander. You're not just being hit with the same, I got a Gucci bag, I got some weed, I got some Percocet, 808, same old shit, right?
Yeah, they ain't about that. We ain't about that type of music, man. Just about that positivity. We about a message. It has to be some type of end goal.
For real.
Within our tracks, it can't just be spewing out nonsense.
And it's funny, it's like people listen to music without a purpose.
Yeah, they just want to listen to something.
Yeah, we scroll through social media without any purpose. We don't even know what we're looking for. It's just scroll. Or with music, it's going through the radio station or through a playlist, and we don't even know what the fuck. We're just trying to mute our thoughts.
Yeah.
And if you go back to older music like Stevie Wonder, Paul Simon, Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix, the Beatles, first of all, the second you turn it on, the first thing that at least I realize is that you can actually sit back and relax.
Yeah.
It's not just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's actually like,
it's calm.
It's nice melodies. It's not perfect. Not everything is auto-tuned and pitch corrected and edited to be exactly perfect. It's human. It's a little bit off time. It's a little bit off key. And it feels real. Yeah. And then on top of that, they're talking about things like love, God. Like, if you look at the Beatles, the number one band in the 60s.
Yeah.
What's the word they use number one?
Yeah, bro, love and God and peace and all that type of stuff.
All you need is
happiness.
love. Yeah, for real, though. And you don't see that nowadays. It's like if a man makes a song with the word love in it, it's looked at as like soft or something like that.
Probably just ain't even can get no airtime. I don't think it get looked at as soft, but it just ain't gonna be as popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you making music, if you making mainstream music, mainstream hip hop, pop, dancehall, like
the main genres,
the main genres, bro. You just gotta make it filthy as possible.
It's so true. And personally, I'm at the point that I'm kind of tired of it. I don't really get any enjoyment out of it anymore.
None at all.
If I'm at a spot, somebody's playing music, I'd rather than play some like Kid Cudi Pursuit of Happiness or something than some like another fucking ass shaking song. You know what I mean?
For real. For real.
Because what's the point of it at the end of the day, right? Like,
and even me, like with my events that I throw and my DJing nowadays, I don't be into playing too much like dancehall music nowadays is pretty much the same thing, just gun and sex and all that. And that attracts a certain type of energy to your event. And I ain't I ain't about that life no more. So
no, man, the last show we did was such good vibes.
Yeah, it's good vibes all around, bro.
For real. And that's the thing with a lot of events, like even like going to bars and clubs and stuff like that. It's like there's no love.
No love.
It's all just let me get my drugs, let me get my drinks, let me get my music, let me get some bitches, and me. This is what I want. Give me the pleasure.
Yep.
I want to look like the man. I'm gonna put on cologne. I'm gonna wear the nice shirt that I spent my paycheck on.
For real.
And you're not gonna find your wife there. You're not gonna find the guy, and I'm speaking mostly to the guys here. The guys you're supposed to be with are not going to be at the clubs with you because that's not what they're into. The woman that you want to find isn't going to be at the clubs because that's not what she's into. Because it's the brothel, bro. It's the fucking. But with that being said, only come if it's one of our events, though.
For real. If you come to one of our events, you definitely can find yourself a little wifey, you know what I mean?
100%, man. Finding you a little wifey, little drinky poo.
You know what I mean?
Fucking get some good vibes going, man. And we'll put the smile back on your face, you know what I'm saying?
All day.
And it's funny whenever you see independent artists, how they have so much more joy.
Yeah, what you mean?
Like Lil Russell is someone I put you on to.
Yeah,
like whenever he comes out, he's big smile, man. Like this, he's like an open book.
That's true.
And I can tell that he's genuine.
Yeah.
When you see these dudes like Kevin Hart,
Kevin Hart solo, especially Uzi, bro.
All of them, man. Like most of the big ones, man. Like I can't believe a word that comes out of their mouth.
Nah, can't.
It's all an act.
For real.
So I'd be lying if I knew exactly how to get out of this situation. But one thing that I can definitely predict is that it's going to get a whole lot worse.
For real. I think by 2030. So in 2030, from what I understand from the Economic Forum and this great reset that's going on, we're going to own nothing. And pretty much the elite's going to own everything. In this recession that's coming up, they pretty much going to buy everything. And we just going to be left at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So try to do what you got to do, everybody. Do what you got to do. Make your bread so you'll be able to support yourself in the next coming years. Because it's only getting worse for real. Just follow history. It's getting worse.
100%. And I'm holding out hope that it's going to get better after that. If it's not on this world, and another world.
That's true. Things will eventually get better. But what is better? It's just your perception, I would say.
I think I told you about this before, the 80-year cycles of history.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll explain it to them. So people have found that history repeats itself about every 80 years. And you can divide those 80-year cycles into 20-year intervals. So we're at the end of our 80-year cycle. So I'll start from the beginning. The beginning of the 80-year cycle starts with good times, a good period. Economy's good, everybody's happy. Things are going well for everybody in the community for the most part. Then an awakening happens. So at the beginning of our 80-year cycle, it started with the 50s. You could work at a gas station and go and buy a house with it. Crazy. Or you could own, for real though, you could own a VHS store and, go buy a house. Obviously, things weren't perfect, but compared to most situations, we were doing pretty good. Then the awakening happened, hippie movement, psychedelics. People were more open-minded. They wanted peace. They didn't want to be in the Vietnam War, that kind of thing. Then the awakening goes into an unraveling, which started with, the awakening started with the assassination of JFK. Then the unraveling, I think, started sometime in the 80s. Then you have, wars going on, a lot of shit happening, fucking 9/11, all that kind of stuff. And then that goes into a crisis. So the last crisis we had was the Great Depression and World War II. And after coming out of that, that's when we got to the high period where everything became all right again. And that's usually how it goes through through history. 80 years before World War II was the Civil War, I believe. Then 80 years before that, I believe, was the Revolutionary War. So it's weird, right? So, I mean, like, if we go by that chart, if history does repeat itself, then we should,
We probably round the other pandemic stage, eh? Big time tragic crisis.
Crisis, yeah, we're in the crisis right now. And I think going by that, I think it should be over by 2030. But, of course, it's not exact science, right? It's just predictions.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what I'm holding out for. I'm interested to see what they're gonna pull next, right? Because like last time it was the COVID. We know that shit was sham. Like if you still are buying that shit, like what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, you gotta stop buying that shit.
Yeah, like they shut the world down over a flu. Anyway, we're gonna get the fucking the vaccine awareness thing underneath this on the Instagram.
Bro, we need to watch what we do.
Cancelled. No, I think it'd be hilarious if we got canceled this early on. Anyway, though. Have you seen the shit about the UFOs?
I have seen it. I actually was just about to talk about that because apparently Russia just shot down one of the US ones.
Crazy.
Yeah, that might really kick shit off, hopefully.
For real, though. Hopefully.
Yes,
you
bro.
want World War III?
I want a World War III, bro. I want World War III. I want shit to pop off.
Actually, you might not have to fight.
Yeah, I don't want it. Like, who can make me fight, bro?
For real, though. But if World War III happened, would you fight to defend your country?
No, defend my country, bro. Fuck any country, bro. Any
True,
country.
though, because they're not making decisions.
I'm telling you, what?
We don't even get a say.
Like,
what decisions
bro,
they
the
make.
people who start the war, why Putin and fucking Biden don't go punch it out? Why we gotta die for Biden, bro? Fuck
For
that,
real,
bro.
though. That's different. Literally, though, man. It's all just fighting
bro.
on the interests of these ultra-rich people that
Yeah,
just
bro,
want power.
let them go fight, bro. I don't want to fight for you.
No. What are we going to gain out of it?
Nothing, just
Nothing,
our
man.
name on a wall to people to look at.
Yeah, for real, though.
You get
I can
me?
get that shit anyway.
I'm telling you, bro.
No, it's crazy, though, man. And now apparently the conspiracy theorists are saying that there aren't aliens and the normies are saying that there are aliens.
Wow.
Which is hilarious if you really
That's
think about it.
hilarious, for real. I definitely know there's aliens out there, though. There's no way we the only species.
Facts.
Definitely some Godzillas and King Kongs out there.
Here's an interesting theory I heard about. People, there's always been the theories of the UFOs and the crazy hovercrafts and all the capabilities that the aliens are capable of doing. And there's a theory out there that humans actually had the capability of doing this throughout time, and that they covered it up through saying it was aliens.
Crazy.
So we had UFOs and shit like that. But I mean, who knows, right? But it's interesting to make predictions. Because it's funny when you think that when you realize that history, how many lies are in history.
Yeah.
Because people, it's not even like there's also like covering up history that was real and covering it up in the future. But there's also in the time being lying to everybody that around you. So I'll tell you what I'm talking about. In 1500, if a group of people did some shit and didn't tell the rest of the world, 100 years later, everybody forgot, didn't get put in the history books.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, there's the rewriting of history that we all know about that goes on. So we really don't know what the hell went on.
Yeah, we don't know what's happening, bro. Like none of us was there.
But it's funny though to think that like it doesn't make sense that like they say what humans have been around now for what 100,000 years, million years.
Anybody that say humanity existed for less than a million years, I don't be listening to them, bro. I think we've been here for billions of years.
Really?
Bro. Yes, bro. I think we've been here for billions of years.
That's interesting. It's possible. What I was gonna say though was that it's the way that they teach it doesn't make any sense.
No.
That throughout history, people they didn't know nothing about electricity. They didn't know nothing
just
about
rocks and sticks.
Rocks and sticks and metal and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, printing press, then industrial revolution, then boom, we got iPhones.
Yeah.
You know, like just like that. Like, you know, Egyptians, they didn't know shit. They just played around with rocks. Now we got iPhones.
Yeah, and then like if you think about it too, when they talk about civilizations like Atlantis, which was advanced, and ancient Mesopotamia and shit like that, they had to have electricity or some type of mind blowing technology, especially with the pyramids being built so perfectly.
100%.
And that ain't the only set of pyramids in the world. There's actually more pyramids in South America